guys. How are you? Good. Who's up? Soph, what do you got?
8-0 on the road.
I know.
This
How about
season.
that?
Yeah. How about that? Can I just talk about what's led to that and what you've seen from your team?
It was a tough one, the first one, just going all the way back to Miami, and I think that was just a really important game for us, and being able to battle and give up a punt return, answer with a kickoff return, going all the way back, and just big kick from Andy, and we've talked about all those things that have helped us along the way, and talked about just unfinished business on the road and being able to, when we needed to, handle the environment and make critical plays and get off to a good start like we did today. So really proud of this, football team and what they've been able to do. Anytime you travel, it's difficult. So.
Mike, how important was it for you guys to kind of come up with that precision on both sides of the football early and kind of put your foot on the gas?
I think hopefully we can continue to improve as the season goes on. We're pretty far into it, but being able to still practice and focus on details and coach actions and not results, and try to be able to translate the things that we do well in practice that when they show up in the games, or vice versa, or maybe things that we weren't really good at in practice that maybe we weren't really good at in the game, and we can continue to coach those things, but really focused on trying to improve late in the year. I'm just happy that everybody was able to play, and we did get a lot of really good efforts early on in the precision and complementary football and all the great things that we need.
Mike, when you know that.
What does it say about your team dealing with the amount of injuries that you were able to win?
I think from the get-go, we've tried to focus on having everybody that's here prepare as a starter, coach them the same. Make sure that everybody knows that when you come in there in the meeting room during the week, that at any point in time up until Saturday or before 4 o'clock, that you could be elevated or signed. And we didn't really have to do that much during the beginning part of the season. And then all of a sudden, our depth got tested. And so I think it was really important for this week for guys to step up, and what Josh and the offensive staff were able to do with managing guys and different personnel groups and using everybody, was really, really good. And, what Zach and the defense has been able to do with some guys out, and then obviously what Jeremy and Tom are able to do with all the moving parts on special teams. So I appreciate every single one of those coaches that help us, help our players get ready for the games.
Mike, when you describe that adjustment, what kind of traits does that highlight for you? Is it a toughness, a flexibility, a versatility?
Well, I think you have to be all those. You have to be able to adapt and be able to adjust. And the players that can play more than one position, we have to be able to ask them to do that. Preparation, just understanding that some of these guys are practicing the entire year and don't get a chance to play. And then you want to be able to reward them when the opportunity presents itself, and there'll be some guys that took advantage of their opportunities, and hopefully that'll lead to more opportunities for them.
Mike, when you could process that Drake threw 5 touchdown passes to 5 different players, do you feel like you were watching the MVP of the league today?
Oh, well, I certainly they don't give me a vote, but I would. There's nobody else that we want as our quarterback or that I want as our quarterback. And so to be able to do that, and as the plays go through the progression, somebody asked me this week about progression and different things. I said just throw to the guy that's open as soon as you work through your progression, and I think he did that, and some really good designs, but also some great execution.
What's it say about Drake's performance that he was able to do that, as you mentioned, with a depleted offensive line and depleted wide receiver core?
Well, all those guys have played. The wide receiver core, Chiz has been catching touchdowns on us on Fridays the entire year, so it was good that he got one in the game because he's caught plenty of them on Fridays. And, Ben did a great job. Verdarian did a great job. Those guys, have been in there, and Verdarian's been in there for the last couple weeks, and Ben's ready to take advantage of his opportunity as always. So got a great effort from our veteran guys, from Diggsy, and certainly the offensive line.
You guys have made borderline great plays. Hunter at the 3, fought that, followed and caught it.
Yeah.
And then Diggs makes that play, obviously taking the ball behind and keeps his feet in. But not only those plays, those guys were consistent all game, really emblematic of their whole year, both of them.
Well, and we say this all the time, that your best players have to play good in order for you to win, and I would consider Hunter and Stephon some of our better players. And so that's kind of what you get. That's the National Football League, and they know that we need their best efforts each and every week, and that's what we got.
You've been around football a long time, Mike. You've been around.
The 2-minute drive, your thought process changed in the 2-minute drive before the half after the roughing the passer penalty?
Yeah, probably. I mean, just trying to get, like being smart with the football and, get the first down and get into the drive. And then, that created, good enough field position to keep going. And I thought, they did a really good job of going down there with the time and the timeouts and the moving parts. And, once you get into 2 minute and you only have a couple of receivers, you kind of get creative. And, we had 2 backs in there at times. We had 2 tight ends in there at times. So I thought that was really good.
Mike, what went into the decision to call a timeout at the end of the first
Well, I
half
was just,
there?
trying to think and work the game, and regardless of what the score was, but, forcing them to run another play or do something, and, they don't carry over to the second half. So defensively, we hadn't had a whole lot of opportunities to play. Those guys want to rush. They want to, play defense. And so I called it, and, really didn't affect the game.
It looks like you had to talk to Christian Barmore coming off the field heading into halftime. So what happened there?
Oh, just reminded everybody to keep their composure. And, we have an identity that we've shown and that we've put out there on the football field and make great decisions for the football team. And we don't want to give people free yards. And that was it, just a reminder. And, Christian, they did a great job. I mean, the referee came over there and told me that both him and Corey Durden and everybody else, were doing a good job of trying not to get in anything after the whistle and after the play, and I appreciate that. It was just a reminder, Nicole.
Coach, I was just going to.
Two final questions.
Coach, I was just going to ask. Obviously, this time of year, football becomes a game of attrition. How important was it to get some reps for the guys that were able to play today, especially in the second half? Some guys that may have to play for you down the stretch.
Everybody's going to have to play. We're going to need everybody's best effort and preparation and execution. And I think the more that you can get them into the game, and whether it's 2 minutes, I'm on the ball, and guys that really haven't had that, but they practice all year, they work extremely hard. So I'm excited to see them to be able to go out there and make some plays that helped us win and be excited. And that's the most important thing, that we're just excited, to get a stop there at the end of the game, the guys that are in there, because they put a lot of time into, and they deserve our best.
How tough to see Mac go on IR this week, but also to see Afton step up, get his first catch, first touchdown.
Well, Mac means a lot to this football team, his personality, his spirit. I've talked about that a bunch, and he's wanted to travel with us and be here and support, and I know that he's happy for Chiz, just because those two have been, really close since the time that Chiz got here, and I think it's been fun mentorship, and we'll need that from Mac. We'll need him to make contributions off the field as we move forward. Thanks, guys.